I came across a post on social media that states, my ex seriously did ruin me. I don't lie when I say that. He made me so insecure, untrusting, anxious, and unhappy.
Not good.
It's so hard for me to trust anyone anymore. I get jealous over everything.
Wow.
I peep everything. I overthink everything. And I'm so insecure with myself. This really sucks. I feel like right now, there's so many women that I just read that, watching this, and they're like, oh my God, that person was in my brain, right? Like they feel that they've experienced that. So ladies, I wanted you to weigh in on this. What are some lessons or teachable moments that you've learned from a past relationship? Because I feel like there's a lot that this woman is saying, but my biggest question to her is, what did you learn? Instead of carrying that pain, what did you learn from that? Right? Do you guys feel like you have any of those?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I feel for me, my past relationship, the most recent one I would say was, I'm not gonna share everything about my past. Not in the very beginning, because I feel like sometimes when I've done that, I felt like that was used, not against me, but that was brought up in a way that I felt like, you know, you can't compare that. That was a long time ago. That was a different person, or I was a different person. So I think for me, I'm not going to share so much so soon.
I think there's wisdom in that.
A little bit of a little bit more privacy in what my past was, and I'm not like hiding anything, but I don't need to share everything right away. But I also remember, not a relationship, but Jamie Foxx told me when we were working together, I was pining over someone that I had just broken up with, and he said, always save a little bit for you.
Ooh.
And I was just like, wow, like you love, but leave a little for you so that someone doesn't leave and you're destitute. Ooh. And I thought that was really, really a great thing, and I've kept that with me up until now.
Yeah, what's crazy is I feel like the moment you find that right person, it's like you just said, hold it for yourself, and then there will be a moment where you're like, okay, now I can share that.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
As opposed to sharing it with everybody.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, you know, my teachable moment, I met this guy, and we started dating, but when I met him, it was at a club, and he had the best looking suit. And I was like, ooh, he is fine with that suit. And then we started dating, and he only had one damn suit.
Oh.
I was like, that's all you got another suit?
Bendito, he only had one suit.
This is the point, though. I judged the book by its cover because I initially thought, well, he's got this suit. That must mean that he's got money, that he's this, that he's that,
I can relate to that.
See what I'm saying?
I saw, oh my God, I ran into someone on the road, and I knew him because he was a dad at my kid's elementary school, and he was in this beautiful Range Rover, and he was like, I've always wanted to ask you out. Why don't we have coffee later on? And I was like, I can't tonight, but how about tomorrow night? And when he showed up in an old Cadillac. And I was like, well, what happened to the Range Rover?
Oh, no. Guys, I feel so bad for these guys.
I'm superficial, but it was such a contrast to what I saw him in. And there was a light like a halo, and then he comes over and it's all dark and he's got an old Cadillac, and I was like, what?
High five for the realness. It's the transparency for me.
But it was like you guys get to know somebody, and that was the whole point. The teachable moment is don't judge the book by its cover.
Yeah.
Get to know someone. The person, which didn't work out because it was just, but because it wasn't about materialistic.
No, it wasn't about
I don't want people to think that.
No.
It was just the fact that my initial thing was judging this person because I'm like, oh, he got it together. He got this nice. And he only had one suit. That's all he had.
No, but it's right because so many times we do judge a book by its cover, and we got to get to know people. You never know, you know?
That's a lesson right there to learn for sure. I feel like I can relate so much to this young woman. That's why I had to pause there, because I was like, oh my gosh, at some point in my life, I was her. I was like super insecure. I felt like someone in my past had made me question everything I did.
Wow.
So I would say the biggest lesson I've learned from an ex is to never allow them to dim my shine or dumb me down. I had an ex that literally, I would say I'm pretty bubbly, like I tend to be like, hi, how are you? And all of that. If I walk into a room, my first initial instinct is to like hug everybody, run up to people, say hi. And he made me feel like that was so whack. So I'm talking full on. Imagine walking into a room, hugging everybody, and then walking out and I'm still like, oh my God, and him being like, you don't gotta hug everybody.
Oh, wow.
Everybody don't wanna hug you, Adrian.
Wow.
And I remember being like,
So let me ask
what?
you, so then the next time you went out, were you like,
yeah. Now I'm like, should I not like hug people like, could you imagine thinking everything you do is like, do I hug people? Do I not hug
Yeah.
people? Am I doing
That's
too
a
much?
lot of stress.
Why you always smiling? Like you be smiling too much.
He was being controlling.
And I'm like,
Yes.
so am I corny? Because I'm like, hi, how are you?
Right.
Yeah, that comes across fake. No, that's really how I am.
right, that's hard.
And let me tell you what the biggest lesson in that is. When you find the right person, they love all those things that person told you was whack and corny and fake. And the man that is right for you will literally love the things that your ex may have hated. Like, you know how I'm super goofy? I will be in the corner doing like, being a hot,
Yep.
corny mess.
Right.
Yep.
My husband will be sitting there watching me like I'm magic. Literally like, you
'Cause
are
he's the right one.
fascinating.
He's
Yeah.
the right one.
And that was the lesson I had to learn.
Yeah.
But when you're
Yeah.
young, you don't know. That's
Right.
why
No.
we tell y'all about this
Yeah.
we share our experiences, because I had a guy that was like that with me,
Yeah.
and I can never forget. And
Yeah.
we were a couple, and it's like, I was laughing one time because they were doing like we were at an event, and he, and I was just laughing.
Sure.
And then I never forget, he said, "Stop laughing," and I was like,
Ooh.
and it instantly. You
Yeah.
became fearful. And that, I tell you, is control. That's when someone is trying to control who you are and your personality.
agree.
And it's never, ever
agree.
good. If it's ever like that,
Red
get out of
flag.
that relationship.
Get out of
Red
there,
flag.
get out of there, get out of there.